Hey, hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome. Yeah, I'm Al. This video I'll be making a reviewer summary, I guess, on the newest chapter of ReZero, Arc 9, Chapter 18. This is my first time, I don't know how it's going to be my voice or the way I speak. Let's hope it's going to be good. Then shall we get into it? Okay. Major spoiler alerts for those who haven't yet watched or read Chapter 9, Arc, chap- Arc 9, Chapter 18. As I'm also reading first time while making this video, so I think it's going to be a lengthy video. Let's see. First, maybe I'll just read it first a couple seconds and I'll just say how it goes, I guess. So the chapter says it's 100 times more trouble. As you know from the previous chapter was left right as when felt ambushed the Kabuto Buster like all he it exactly left there. So I think it's going to be a continuation, but at the same time, the last couple of chapters, first we get to see what Petra has seen on the book of Dead of Subaru. So like the same previous chapters, first we'll going to see Petra's POV, I guess. So in this, Subaru says his days of solitary struggles and inedible regrets. So the witch says it's a compensation. Like, I think this is a scene where after the first witch party, I guess, yeah, after second witch party, after he says that he can return by death and everything, and after everything, now after the anime that scene, now he's saying, okay, I decided. That's what Subaru says after speaking with Ekidana and everything. Um, Now, what he says is before saying goodbye, he says that he doesn't want to forget about Ekidana after going outside the dream world. So he's asking for the payment. What payment should I give? Then Ekidana says that it's the handkerchief which Petra gave. I'll take that as a payment. That's what Ekidana said. And in this scene, we can say that Petra is screaming until her throat explode. That's what it's saying. So she's screaming at the top of her lungs. She wanted to say that no, stop, and she wanted to stay. She wanted to say, I guess, no need to do that, everything at all. Stop it, Subaru, I guess. But her voice can't be heard by Subaru or anyone else because it's already happened in the past, and she's only seeing the history that has already been over. So it's an past, so she can't make anything, I guess. But she's too much frustrated, I guess, uh, to not able to help Subaru in this time. And Ekidana says that she has certainly collected the fee for the tea ceremony and she is looking forward to see Subaru again. Then the next line says that Subaru is terrified for getting caught in the witch's eye. Then he is far more than imagined. Then Ekidana kept her promise. It's a Subaru's POV right now, so Ekidana is kept her promise, and the memory is not yet gone. And the dream world ends with a white light. When he returns to the trail, the trail room, tomb, I guess. He couldn't able to find Emilia, so he says, "Emilia, where are you?" Then his heart become agitated. Um, he is overflowing with anxiety and a sense of unease. Then he steps outside the tomb in a hurried manner, I guess, and he can see a shadow. Yeah. So in the pitch black sanctuary, he could see a shadow more terrifying the witch which he just now encountered. I mean, more terrifying than Ekidam. That is the Witch of Envy. Yeah, Witch of Envy, as we seen in the anime, can be seen here outside waiting for Subaru. Maybe I guess because the taboo has been broken. Subaru has mentioned written by death, and one person is alive. That is, Ekidana is still breathing. Not exactly breathing, but the taboo has been broken, right? So Ekidana is here to collect the prize, and at that POV, the Book of the Dead chapter ends, because it's at the last few lines says that how no matter how much Petra screams or how much she wanted to refuse, she couldn't resist it, or she couldn't stop whatever is happening, because the exact line which I already mentioned before, the history has certainly happened and that cannot be erased. And Subaru is like, what did I just contributed to? He is in a shock because he knows that the taboo which broken, because it's none other than Subaru's authority, and Subaru knows more than anyone what happens if the taboo is broken. So he's in a shock, and that's it. That's where the Book of Dead scenes end, and we get straight to the point where the last chapter ended. I guess 17, Arc 9, chapter 17 ended. The voice says Kabuto busted, which Aldebaran clearly recognized that it's Pelt's voice. And just now, Yaya is like, oh my god, like she's literally, she can't understand what's happening right now, because they had many plans. They even used Volcanica, you know, like escape route, but that didn't completely work. So uh, she's yeah is agitated, and Heinkel, Reinhardt's father, I guess. Yeah, not I guess. Sorry for that. Heinkel is can be seen clearly confused, because Aldebaran and Heinkel they are the same, you know, thought. They are the same thought that how could the how could Felt found there out? They clearly made diversions using Volcanica, and still they found out. The main thing here is Aldebaran updated his matrix 15 seconds ago. So even if he wanted to go back, he can only go back up to 15 seconds. So there is no way to avoid this ambush, because just now he updated his matrix. So what can he do, unless uh, suddenly Volcania comes here? And no, he can't do anything, I guess. We can clearly say that updating the matrix preparation for surprise attack, and this surprise attacks has been backfired for him, because regularly updating his matrix made him unable to use the matrix for this situation, because since it's 15 seconds ago, it's most likely can't do any good for him. So they have to met with Felt here. So they suddenly AI gives a suggestion to make Heinkel a human sacrifice, uh, which Heinkel clearly refuse, because I guess yeah, he is saying that he is no use, because the Astrea family is waiting for this Heinkel guy to get caught up in something and just die, so that Reinhard could get in power, because right now his father is in charge of Asteria. So what they're saying is, even if they sent Heinkel to Feld, they would just immediately kill him, and you know they in the tomb they'll just write as, here lies the revered and beloved Heinkel Astrea in his tombstone there itself, I guess, because they are just raring to go to kill this bastard. Sorry for this language. Anyway, so he is saying that it's a bad suggestion to send him, which Yai disapproves, and she is telling that it's even more uh, important to send him now so we can escape. Then what happened is, Al, he says that I will be going and meeting them, because Al thought that's his best option, and which Yaya is asking again, Al Sama, is that the best option? And Al gives just two words, that's right. that short answer, and Yaya is like, okay, I understand. With that, he says that Al says that Henkel, you don't have to worry so much because I have an idea and I am going to do that. Then he's like, he's ready to up in front of Felt, so he's coming outside the forest, with words like, "Will the demon or snake appear?" So Aldebaran, he's clearly thinking that something's going to happen. So he's ready to use his matrix no matter what, I guess. So let's see. So okay, the views which were obstructed by tall tree, like it's a clearly forest, right? So tall trees are obstructing the most of the views. So it suddenly clears, and in plain sight, there's a gill with majestic smile and teeth, distinctive gold hair and red thread. You know, from these distinctive characteristics, he can clearly understand that it's felt. So then, what has more surprising is Aldebaran thought that the sword saint and the grey, which I think is mentioning Satella here, they both are the main characters in this world which can, you know, surprisingly defeat Aldebaran. So since both of them are in the sand dunes, there is no one else to, counterattack him. That's what Aldebaran thought, and he clearly had a plan that he can clearly beat Felt with his power. But since he also doesn't know the Felt's power, because in Peristella, they clearly see Reinhardt's strength and the Chin trios, I guess. That's what Subaru used to call them, the Chin trios. He clearly saw their powers, but Felt was like in the shadows. She didn't do anything at that arc, so he doesn't know what power Felt has. But Aldebaran thought even if Priscilla was alive, she could not win in a fight with Aldebaran. So what can Felt do? He was confident. Yeah, I can definitely win. Then the next word came out of Aldebaran mouth is, "Hey, what kind of joke is this?" Because Aldebaran couldn't help but smile dryly on the scene before his eyes after the clear sight of the forest, which was what Aldebaran thought that there will be like 4 or 5 peoples, but it was clearly 100 times worth more than Aldebaran thought, which is the clearly the title of this chapter, 100 times more trouble. So what exactly happened here is, instead of 5 waiting for Al, which he had anticipated, there was like 500 people who was ready to ambush Al. Um, then the POV changes to again Felt. Then Felt, they're explaining that Felt is who grew in a slum, cannot shake off her poverty even when her position changes, to the royal candidate. Right now, Felt doesn't have to worry about food, clothing, and place to stay because all of them are given by Reinhardt family. But Felt is, much smart than that. She knows that none of this is her property because everything is belongs to Raid. Everything belongs to, Reinhardt, and she knows that she needs her own hand, her own power. So she cultivated, to live strong. The, Suyo Keikiroyo, that line always said in the slums. We can see that in the anime. Right now, you can see that um, she's using her card. Uh, as I previously mentioned, in the chapters and in anime, Felt was helping the slum peoples to get, more power. She was getting them out of their poverty. So she used that ability and gathered more than 500 peoples. So we can see that suddenly we go to the royal. I think they are in the royal castle, I guess, because we can see Reinhard in the royal castle. with Felt because they just now received the news from from through grasses from the divine protection of telepathy. Every they are all on exactly the royal capital. Uh, just now they received the news, like just now means recently they received the news that Priscilla is dead, and which happened in the civil war on the empire Wallachia. Actually felt is quite clearly shocked because she thought that Priscilla was the least character to die early because of how bigger her life has been and how she's been portrayed up till now. But still, she's dead. Still, after hearing the news, Reinhard is so like raring to go to the sand dunes. But what happens is, Felt stops him for a second. Reinhard was shocked. Then Felt says, uh, "You don't get along with the Maestro in that place, right? Because of Reinhardt's power, it's not fully used in the sand dunes, which are used against him. The same is asked from Felt. What you are going to do? Where you are the where you will be the least powerful in the entire world, the sand dunes. How you are going to fight him there?" When it's asked that Reinhardt says that yes, it's true. I don't get along well in the Maisma in that place, but I have no choice to go. Flum and Lord Ezo are in the tower, and he is mentioning that Flum and Ezo is there, and someone else, that is clearly Subaru. Upon receiving the news from Grasses, Reinhard was like overcome with sense of duty and felt responded by scratching her head. I know, because she knows how her knight acts. And suddenly we get that here a line comes as Emilia's POV that Reinhardt, I am not telling you to go, but don't rush off on your own. Take a spot of the way with you. It is clearly saying that Reinhardt, Emilia wants to go with Reinhardt because maybe she's still in the royal capital, I guess, but I don't know. It's just one line mentioning Emilia, so we have to wait for upcoming chapters to see whether it's true that Emilia is with Reinhardt or not. Maybe she's right now helping, you know, the unconscious Petra and everyone in the tower, Garfield and everyone, to get safety. But that story is not yet been told, and we don't know if what I'm saying is correct or not. For now, that we can clearly say that there's a line which says that Emilia wants to go with Reinhardt. So then we'll continue the story. Now felt somehow that's Reinhardt was shocked. He doesn't understand why his master has stopped him. Uh, then she asked. Reinhardt remains silent. He kneels and asks for what's in your mind, master. So it's true. If it's true that the divine dragon is with Al and both of them are together, there is no one worthy of this job than Sword Saint, because no one can beat them literally in the power battle. And since Felt understood this, she know she's the right, she's the same mindset with Pirsula. Both of them are royal candidate, Pirsula, and we can clearly know that she's thinking something else, um, because then the story says continues as Felt asked with one eye closed, and what is more likely, being wary of coming here and being shunned for not coming here? You know, Felt is saying that Al knows that you are going to come. He is anticipating your arrival. how come, the world's strongest guy, if he's saying that he's going to come, everybody is going to get scared, but Ali is preparing for that fight. So clearly felt is saying that there is some other notice, that is there is some other plans that could possibly beat Reinhard and escape from there. So just as felt hunch was true, Aldebaran did escape from there. So let's see, felt is saying right now to the kneeling Reinhard, don't worry, because felt took Reinhard face in her hand, and which for it's something didn't happen previously in the entire story. Reinhard was shocked with us, huh? And then she says, "You idiot! I told you I wouldn't stop. You go along with his invitation, use all your stupid strength, and go on a rampage. I'll pick up the rest here." Which made clearly Reinhard say an ah. He was literally, he couldn't say anything. He was just in shock that how much felt has grown and how much felt is reliable. Even if the sword scent is at her arsenal, she is clearly improving and striving for more, which is clearly an example for the royal candidate. And right now we can see the dragon carriage has been procurement has been complete. Um, let's see. You're always saying unreasonable things. I guess that's where the Reinhardt's POV ends. Then we can come to, okay. So felt summarize felt, yes, I'm outside. Yeah. So what here is, they're preparing. Reinhardt is preparing to meet Al. So they're preparing the dragon carriage, but um, they can clearly say that Reinhardt is clearly agitated and felt is giving them like, what's you're afraid of? Go and complete what I asked you. That's the kind of paragraph we can see here, and Reinhardt's been blinked, and he's clearly like, felt is saying that don't get cocky and think you can do everything on your own. You can't even hold hands with those three at the same time. I think they're clearly mentioning here is Flam, Ezo, and Grasses. And Reinhard is like, he's surprised, and all of his worries have been vanished, and he's showing the face of the SWAT saint, which felt is clearly happy about. And after Reinhard left, the camp begins. The Felt camp begins to make a plan of what to do in case if Reinhard loses the battle. So there's appearing a lot of characters from Felt's camp, like Old Man Ramji and the Chintrius, and we can see that here right now they're mentioning the princess death and the civil war in the Walachi Empire, and they can clearly see that Al's goal is not to end the world, because he right now they got the news that he summoned the witch of envy, and when they hear the name, everybody is like with their face, it's in terror. They can clearly say that the witch of envy is the one opponent in this ReZero world no one is dared to go against. The fear is edged upon their soul, I guess. So we can clearly say that everyone is afraid and don't know what to do, but Felt is clearly having a clear mind here, and she's thinking other possibilities of why Al did bring Witch of Envy here, and she's thinking, okay, so since he didn't kill Reinhard along with Witch of Envy, uh, Als is clearly not have no such desire for the destruction of world, because if his like a grand suicide, he is going to suicide along with the entire world because of Priscilla's death, but it's not Al's motive. She can clearly see that, because he just made Reinhard fight the witch of envy and he just left. So with now we can see that Lachins is actually, Lachin has quite few dialogues here in this chapter, and we can see that he's somewhat became capable of thinking and see through what's happening outside the circle, and felt is also shocked by how much he has grown, and they are making assumptions of what else is Aldebaran is thinking. And as the topic goes on, we can clearly say that, let's see, yeah, okay, after here we can see the foster parents of Felt. They are you know proud of their daughter, because how reliable she became in a span of 1 year, and they are very proud. So Felt is also like got emotional, and she's like, "You bastard, get your asses up!" The mockery made of my Reinhard. So she's clearly stating that Reinhard is her. Reinhard is Felt's property is clearly mentioned here, and so they are going to give a good punching. Now, um, when they felt camp decided to fight, there was a problem. Um, RSS here. Where's Al right now? That's the problem. But from Felt POV, we can clearly says that Al visited the tab, right? The tavern to drink milk. What they're speculating is, since the divine dragon is showed up on the tavern, their planning is, the dragon was here. The dragon was at the north side, and it's moving to the north. So they are trying to make all the people believe that Al is going to the north, and that way of thinking is completely wrong. That's the first words Felt is thinking, because with how till now Al has performed, she can clearly says that Al is not that much idiot to openly fly with Volcanica. So we can say some dialogues said by Felt. The princess died in the empire. If the shell dragon were to strike the empire, a big clash would begin with that country, with which there are complicated feuds, right? No, that is not the case. So they can clearly say that Wallachia is not Al's target. Uh, if Al is planning to attack the empire, there's going to be a feud between countries. So that speculation is correct, because clearly Al's not about self-destructing, or not like I'm the enemy of the world. He's clearly not that. So they are saying that either it's a straight west, northwest, or southwest. That is where Al should be from the speculations, because they can clearly see that the dragon is a diversion. Right now, yeah, let's see. Betting everything on their own prediction, Felt lined up the entirety of the camp's force on the plain, and right now we are seeing that Austria does not possess many troops, which was also an adverse effect of Reinhard being too strong. If the world's strongest is in your family, why build up more power? That's the that's biting them back right here. But um, it's fine. The remaining soldiers has been tasked to guiding the evacuation from the territory. uh, because they think that the dragon might come here. But since it's only a speculation, they think that okay, that's not going to be the case. So we give the troops under your command felt. They're saying like that, the foster parents, because they believe in felt. And from there we can also see three characters, three new characters, I guess. Yeah, they are new characters. They are the large pig man clad in thick armor, and a strange looking man with blue scale tattoo all over his face, and a beautiful young woman adorned in provocative outfit that was inappropriate for the situation. The black silver coin, scales, and the flower poison garden. Three characters, three groups, three names. They responded to Felt's call. So who are they? And on the next para we can clearly see that they are the underground mafia, I guess. Yeah. Now Felt is in hand with mafia. So they were the big wigs who control the underworld of in the Flanders, the city of Earth Dragon, a northeast Austria territory. So they are the underground world Flanders of the Austria territory. With all of them, with the three groups and Reinhardt's family's night troops, a total of 500 has been gathered under Felt's you know power. Right now, all they are quite amazed with how many of them are gathered, because a year before Felt was in the slums, and right now Felt is the leader of 500 strong individuals. Let's see. Okay, the video is taking more than 30 minutes right now, so we might as well as quickly, you know, follow the story. I guess I'll just fastly read it and explain it to you in short form. And we can see the POV directly goes to the forest where they meet, where they confront Al, and Aldebaran was thrown off the his calculation, because he clearly thought there will be 4 or 5 people, but it's 100 times more. It's 500, and he says that impressive must felt. And before anything, Felt says, "I'm sorry for she is mourning for Priscilla's death." And we can see that suddenly, a thin blade just struck in Aldebaran's neck, uh, in so fast that he could only see pink shadow, and a word came from the pink shadow, that is Flam's revenge. Uh, because Flam's younger sister of the grasses, so it's grasses that just struck Al in his neck. But Al says, "I am not dead." He's like he's updating his matrix, and he goes to exactly the line, "Oh, you can hear me, right? I know you are here, Kabuto." Exactly the last line of previous chapter, exactly the chapter 17. So the matrix has been updated, and the 15 second is clearly right now. He knows he hasn't met felt yet, and he knows it's inevitable, and he's going to use the troublesome brain and the troublesome way which Aldebaran hates to use. So he is going to use the most annoying tactics, and the inevitable battle between Aldebaran and the overwhelmingly superior enemy has begun, and the chapter ends. So, on the final chapter, Reinhard is still no fighting Satella. We don't know Emilia what happened to her, because we could clearly see one line in this translation, and Aldebaran is preparing to fight Felt. So we don't know how that's going to happen, what's the outcome is going to be, because right now we don't Al don't have his dragon with him, and there's only three members in his group, that is Al, Henkel, and Yai. So it's clearly going to be a tough battle for them. And since Al is saying that he's going to use the most annoying tactics, which is obviously written by death or matrix upload, I guess, he's going to use the suicidal Subaru method, because Subaru thought that he wouldn't use the written by death more often, but Aldebaran is not like that. He's ready to use his authority no matter how many times. So we could clearly see the next chapters of fight between them, and I am actually pretty sure that in one or two chapters the Subaru's book of death is going to end, and we can see how how Petra woke up and what's going to happen to her. We could clearly see that the character development of Petra is in peak right now. Tape, he's clearly making people hype with his ability to write, and I'm excited for the next chapter, I guess. And if you're excited about next chapter, and if you want me to do a video like this again, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel, which is definitely going to help me to make more videos like this. And I clearly know this is a 30 minutes long video. I don't know if it's going to work out or not. If you like this chapter, please leave a like and a comment on which I can improve, so that the next video will be more interesting, and next video I'll be I'll put the maximum amount to make a less timed video, so that you guys won't get bored hearing my voice. Thank you. Signing off. This is your Al. Thank you very much.